This podcast is brought to you by Kyoto Japan Automotive Group, a company which I've known personally for over 20 years, and your one-stop shop for tires, batteries, and auto parts. Visit their website at www.kyotojap.com for more details. There's a world of difference between a country, a region, a cluster of people being inventive, and that same group being innovative. And I have no doubt that the vitally important difference will be explained in the course of today's programme. I'm in Genolier today, in Switzerland's French-speaking canton of Vaud. It's the canton in which I've lived for over 30 years. If you do not know the area, it is in one direction lies Lausanne, about 30 minutes drive, and in the other direction, Geneva, is about the same time. And in front of me, spread below like a silver-coloured tablecloth, is Lac Léman, Lake Geneva. And my eye is led up on the other side of the lake to the magnificent Mont Blanc and the Swiss and French Alps. It's a truly breathtaking view, though I have to say this morning it's foggy. In the village of Genolier is a clinic, a hospital, like a giant white footprint in the foothills of the Jura Mountains. The clinic has been here for quite a few years, and then recently a truly impressive and brand new Genolier Innovation Hub has been built alongside and into it. Well, in fact, it's more than a building, it's a campus, an estate, a great white edifice in the side of the Jura Mountains. And I'm the guest of Anna Gräbner, the Chief Executive Officer, and Antoine Hubert, the Chairman of the Board, two of the key actors in the dramatis personae of this remarkable enterprise. Hello, Anna. Hello, Antoine. Welcome to the McKay Interview. Thank you for inviting me and our listeners here today. I was here for the official opening a few months ago and have been a patient from time to time at the clinic. It's good to see you again.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Mike. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Let's start our conversation by you telling me and the listeners a little bit about yourselves and your involvement here at Genolier. First, you, Anna, tell us about yourself. What are you doing here?
So I'm
Come close to the microphone.
Yeah, Anna Gräbner, CEO of the Genolier Innovation Hub. So the very great part of it was that I was here since the beginning with the construction itself and the strategy implementation itself. So seeing the whole baby now live since September is something very special.
And what was the gestation period? How long did it take to make the baby?
2.5 years.
2.5 years,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the vision is more than 2.5 years. Antoine can speak about it, of course.
And Antoine, what do you do here? You're the founder.
Yeah, so I took over Genolier Hospital back in 2002, and I've been active in developing Swiss Medical Network. And so, yes, Genolier Innovation Hub is a little bit my baby, or our baby with Anna. We're not together, but for this baby, we did it together since the beginning.
Speak to the microphone.
I think what's important is to gather idea all around the world and then put it together. Innovation is all about copying and improving what you see all around the world. And here in Genolier Innovation Hub, that's why what we try to do, to offer this infrastructure, this platform for every stakeholder, any stakeholder in healthcare to gather together, think together, develop, and maybe innovate.
Now, I've talked about innovation and invention before on this program, more than once, with people you probably know, people like Benoit Dubuis and other people. And it's very important, I think, to stress that difference, because quite often people don't know the difference between invention and innovation. They think they're one and the same thing. They're not. And this is a good example of that. But tell us a bit more about why this place is so original, why this place is so groundbreaking, or are there other places like this around? Tell us.
So what makes the whole hub really different and with this added value is the fact that we are trying to accelerate the whole from bench to bedside development of an innovation in the medtech, in the pharmacology, or the biotechnologies, or the digital technologies, biosciences, and so on.
That is different, or was that just marketing blah blah?
No, this is the whole difference is to be open to all that innovations, but the real added value is this direct proximity with the clinic. And the clinics, as I said, we have a real, or Antoine said, this real big network of physicians. And having this infrastructure here and this network, being in a real clinical environment, this makes the whole difference.
Okay, just add to that, hold it here. That's it. Add to that, a bit more to that, because I think it's important, as this is not television, it's radio, about the clinic, it is literally part of the same campus.
Yeah, and part of the same building, because it's the adjacent building, and the building is connected with the hospital. There is 5 connection, so there is a kind of fluidity between the two entities. So that means an industry that is in the Genolier Innovation Hub has only 100 steps to be in the real world, in the real hospital with real patient and real physician, and that's the big difference. Even in some area, when you have, for instance, in Bern, on the Inselspital campus, you have the CITEM, which is also an innovation hub, but it's maybe 800 meters away from the hospital, and you have to go outside, you have to go to walk and enter another building. Here, there is a real connection. It's part of this Genolier campus, and there is this exchange, this fluidity, and that's what really shortens the latency between bench and bedside.
And so obviously this is the way you express it, of benefit to both the doctors and the patients.
Yes, okay. And the industry, because the industry in the Genolier Innovation Hub, they are right next to doctors with real patients, so they just have to knock to the door, ask the doctor what they think about this innovation, how he sees that, what kind of improvement they can do. And since our doctors in Genolier are all independent doctors, so they have their own liability, their own responsibility, they don't need to go through an administrative process to work with the physician of Genolier. If it's legal and if it's ethic, it can be move done here.
Yeah. Now, I said at the beginning I was here for the official opening a few months ago, and it is. I'm an addict of radio. Listeners will know that I love radio, but on this occasion I wish it was television so that we could show people what it looked like. But it really is a magnificent building. Tell us, how do you measure the success of a project like this? I mean, what are your parameters of success?
So this Genolier Innovation Hub has 2 main areas. First one, convention center with an auditorium with state-of-the-art audio-video installation. And we are going to measure the success of this convention center by the number of conventions that we can attract. So we hope that it will be the rendezvous for several specialty congress along the year.
In the field of innovation, science, medtech, that kind of thing.
Exactly. On the other side, I think we have all these area that we can rent to industry, and we already measure the success, because we had since the beginning GE Healthcare, which is not a startup, it's a quite big player.
GE being General Electric.
They get rid of the General Electric.
But I mean, that's what old people like me know as General Electric.
But they spend so much money to rebrand it to GE Healthcare. So I try to stick to the branding. Okay. So GE Healthcare is a startup because it has been spun off from the General Electric back in 2023, but it's a huge startup with more than 20 billion turnover. They have here installed their Excellence and Innovation Center for the international zone. They have only 3 of them in the international zone. GE has divided the world in 3 zones: America, China, and international. So
Really?
we are one of the three excellence center of General Electric, of GE Healthcare.
It's a compliment to you and to Vaud and to
zone.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
Well
And
done.
same for Accuray. Accuray, it's an American company. They're active in radiotherapy. They are probably the most innovative guy in radiotherapy, even if they are the smaller after Variant and Elekta. But they decided to put here their innovation and partnership hub for the international zone also. They have also 3 zones, so it includes India, Africa, Europe, and Middle East. So we have every week up to 32 people coming here for Accuray to be trained. And that's a huge success. They are very happy with that. And so we are in discussion with almost all the stakeholder, the player in healthcare industry, and we are very flexible. That means that with some there will be maybe only 1 or 2 events per year, and some will have a physical presence in the hub. And what's also adding flexibility is that we really want to work like an hotel for corporations, so they can have 200 square meter for 2 years, and when they're finished with their innovation, they can give us the key back, and they will be replaced by another player.
Are you going to tell me that you also got accommodation here for people?
No, it's a hotel for
because
entreprise.
I know you use the word hotel, but in inverted
but
commas.
It's work like an hotel. I mean, we decided not to build an hotel because there is enough hospitality around.
I can imagine.
But you need, let's say you're a pharma industry, you want to make a phase 3 or a phase 2 or a phase 1 trial, and you say, okay, we want to be on site for 1 year, and you rent 100 square meter for 1 year,
you need to be
and
comfortable,
then you can give it back.
Sure,
and so this flexibility, I think, is quite unique.
I understand. So I don't want to be too intrusive, but this massive project, how is it funded? Is public, private? I mean, tell us a bit more about how this became real, because it obviously needs a large amount of money and a large amount of confidence in order to invest the money.
So we had the land. So that's the first thing. We had the land because the land was part of the Clinique de Genolier when we bought that in 2002.
So it goes back as far as 2002?
Yeah, okay. we bought the land. So we also obtained an increase of the building capacity with the commune of Genolier and also the canton of Vaud. They were very helpful. Mm-hmm. So in 2018, we decided to make this innovation hub. We have a real estate company for healthcare called Infracore. We have an American partner in this company, and Infracore own all building of our hospital. So Infracore invested 70 million to build the shell of this Genolier Innovation Hub.
Yeah. 70,
yeah. And then, so if you add the value of the land, it's roughly a building that is above 100 million value. And then we founded the Genolier Innovation Hub Limited, which is the operating company, of which Anna is the CEO, and that's 100% subsidiary of Avis Victoria, our mother company. And this is the operating company. So Genolier Innovation Hub invested for the all leasehold improvement, all equipment inside Hub. That's another 25-30 million investment. And then we have our partner like GE Healthcare, like Accuray. They made their own investment to be there. Yeah. And for Accuray, for instance, it was a massive investment because they have 2 bunkers with 2 LINAC that they are using only for training and research purpose. So we are not treating patients.
You've used some specialist words there, like bunker and LINAC. And then would you put the microphone back to Anna so we can hear her. Tell the listeners what that really means, because I've just walked listeners into the bunker, and Well, I'll let Anna describe what a bunker is in the context of the Genolier Innovation Hub. What's a bunker? And what's the other word that Antoine, a LINAC?
Yeah.
What is that?
For the Swiss population, bunkers are really something normal.
Yeah, but we've got a lot of people listening who are not in Switzerland.
I know.
You know?
But still, indeed, we have built 4 bunkers. That means 1.50 meter thickness of the walls with a special concrete against the radiation, because we are having our radiotherapy in oncology in there.
So in another kind of English, that's about 1.5 yards.
Yes,
Okay.
indeed. And for us, it was really important to have this center of excellence, these centers of training, but also the real patient treatments in the same clinical environment. That means that when Accuray has their trainings in there, they have 2 of them, they are in the real clinical environment.
So you can literally, as you showed me a few minutes ago, walk from one to the other, quite literally walk from one to the other.
Yes, and you have seen, it's just one corridor, and we are in the patient treatment zone. And that makes a whole difference, because I always say, doing theory is great, good, but confronting reality, that makes a whole difference.
And that's what you call LINAC?
So for LINAC...
Or is that something different? I just got a bit confused. What is the LINAC? Because you use that word LINAC.
Maybe,
just want to be sure I understand.
I am the guy with the engineering background, I'm going to explain.
Yeah.
So radiotherapy...
Simple English.
Yeah. So radiotherapy use a linear accelerator to produce the ray for the treatment. So LINAC is the short for linear accelerator.
Well, there you are. So the engineers listening will know what he's talking about, but I didn't know what he was talking about.
And so we use this ray to kill the cancer cells into the body, and it has to be very precise, but because we have to spare the healthy cells. So the whole game here is to target the cancer cell only, and do not touch the healthy tissue around this. And that's what we do with a LINAC, linear accelerator.
Thanks. Now, I don't want to answer my own question, but are there plans to replicate this somewhere else in Switzerland, or is this it? Or is it impossible to say?
Let's finish this one first.
Let's finish this one. That's the answer I expected, but it's best to hear that from you.
But of course, I mean, it will be a success. I'm convinced, because we have seen the adhesion from all industry and the interest, and we will probably or be copied, or we will maybe do ourselves other project. If you there is one comparison which can be done. It's with the IRCAD. It started 30 years ago in Strasbourg, and the main target of IRCAD was almost the same as Genolier Innovation Hub. It's on the campus of the University Hospital of Strasbourg, but there is no connection between them, and there is no relation between them, almost no. But IRCAD now has 8 IRCAD in the world. They have done a kind of franchise, and so there are 2 in the United States, 1 in Brazil, China, India, Africa, even in Kigali. And so maybe in 30 years you will have, or maybe in 10 years you will have several innovation hubs, which will not be called Genolier, because Genolier is the place where we are.
Yeah. Sure. Look, I've been coming to the Clinique Genolier for at least the past 15 years. I sort of was calculating how long I've been coming here for a particular type of medical treatment, and I've always had good experience. And I've always felt somewhat indebted to my health insurance company for affording me treatment in what appears to be such an exclusive place. And that's the point of my next question. Does the Genolier Innovation Hub benefit the many or the few?
It's a place accessible for everyone. So, of course, the many, because not only in the Clinique de Genolier, the treatments are open in the ambulatory aspects for everyone, basic insurance. And the same idea is really here in the hub to be open to all kinds of patients, not only for treatments, but really have the patients in the center of our actions as an actor himself. That means we ask them to go with us on stage, to go with us around the table for the developments discussions.
The patient?
Yes.
Really? Give me an example then.
Very concretely,
I'm surprised to hear that.
The patients are the final experts. They have lived their illness. They have got through the treatments.
And they feel comfortable.
So
some of them feel comfortable doing
some of them are coming from themselves to knocking at our doors and saying, I would like to be, as we call them, experts, patient experts. And very concrete example is, for example, mammography, where we have, when you have seen today, I don't know any woman who goes to the mammography and says it was great.
No.
Right? I have my own mom. She says, I don't want to do it anymore because it hurts. And if you see and you look back why and how it was developed, there were no women around the table saying, dear guys, we have maybe different kinds of size and different kinds of breasts that we need to adapt maybe something in the innovation. And this is something which is a preventive so important aspect, right? Mammography is just an example. Yeah. But that's why for us it is important to be open to all kinds of patients, not as a patient, but really as a patient expert, as an actor around the table.
I see. Okay. Well, today I'm a guest of the Genolier Innovation Hub in the French-speaking part of Switzerland with two important people in this remarkable enterprise. Anna Gräbner is the chief executive, and Antoine Hubert is the founder and the chairman of the board. Antoine, I come back to you now. If we pass the microphone, and my apologies if there's a bit of fumbling, but we only have one microphone for my two guests. Antoine, what is it about the Swiss medical investment innovation ecosystem that provides the fertile ground for such an ambitious and attractive undertaking as this? Does Switzerland have something special compared with a France or a United Kingdom or a Germany or an Italy? In your experience, what would you say to that?
So, I think that there is several factors, but Switzerland has been first attractive maybe on a tax level, which has attracted a lot of industry in Switzerland. There is a lot of industry that have their European or worldwide headquarters in Switzerland.
Yeah, the Middle East African headquarters is quite common.
And as you said, there's you call that like Le Mans, like the Geneva. I call that like the Valais because I'm Valaisan, and all the water is coming from our canton. So.
Also, but I should tell the listeners, if they're living on the other side of the British Gulf, it's also called Valise, just in case you get complaints.
Exactly. And so, taking the example of Donald Trump, I just renamed the lake Lac du Valais.
That's the first on the McKay interview, by the way. Okay.
And so this health valley with all these, you have the EPFL, you have university.
The EPFL, for people not familiar with that abbreviation, is the École Polytechnique. It's a federal university in the French-speaking part of Switzerland.
Exactly, which is also very innovative and very life science focused. So so you have the accessibility of Switzerland also. You can enter Switzerland without a visa. It's quite easy. We have the Geneva airport is like 17 minutes from here. You have also a kind of neutrality of Switzerland regarding the label. That means we agree a CE label or FDA label in Switzerland, and we are the only country in Europe that is agreeing both labels.
The ECR for the European
so the CE
community.
The CE
that's
label,
an important point to make.
Yeah, that's a very important point because with the exception maybe of UK, because they are not anymore in the EU, we are the only country that is neutral when you talk about label, and we agree the CE label and the FDA label in Switzerland. And that will be very helpful for the industry. We also have quite pragmatic regulation, which allows to do clinical trial. It's much easier as in some country. The bureaucracy in Switzerland is not yet too big, too important. So you can have access to the decision maker also at the political level. You can have direct access to the decision maker, and that's very important. That's what makes the attractivity of Switzerland.
So in a way, you've sort of crept into my last question. I want to talk a little bit about public-private partnerships in health. Please tell me how it manifests itself in this remarkable Genolier project. I'm interested to know because the other country that I know particularly well is the United Kingdom. And there the National Health Service, the NHS, is 76 years old this year, same age as me, is creaking under the weight of numerous problems that we won't go into here, but politically and even philosophically, there's a tension among a substantial proportion of the British population about mixing private enterprise with medical science. Now, how does it work in this country?
It's very different canton per canton. So in Switzerland we have
typically Swiss answer.
Yeah, no, but it's true. The healthcare regulation at federal level is very light. Yeah. There is one law saying that every Swiss resident has to subscribe to an health insurance, and that any insurance has to agree to insure any Swiss resident.
And the insurance is not particularly onerous. It's not particularly heavy on that person. The cost.
No. Yeah. I mean, it's heavy, it's costly, but it's mandatory, and if people cannot afford, they can ask for subsidy. Yeah. And then we have 26 cantons with different regulations. So some cantons are very public-private friendly, and they treat their own hospital like a private company, and they are a limited company, and they have the same regulation and the same problem as a private hospital. And other cantons, like the canton Vaud, which is impossible to make public-private partnership within healthcare, because healthcare is heavily embedded in the state organization. The CHUV does not exist in Switzerland. The University Hospital of Lausanne
stands for
the University Hospital Universitaire de Lausanne.
It's the University Hospital of Lausanne.
And it's part of the state. There is no legal entity for the CHUV, no legal entity. So it's part of the canton government. And so you imagine that it's very difficult to make partnership. In other cantons like Bern...
A lot of people don't realize that, you see. Yeah.
In other cantons like Bern, the University Hospital Inselspital is like a private hospital. It's run by the government. The government is naming the board of directors, but it's a private entity. So it's a lot easier to work with such a company. And same in other cantons.
Antoine, thanks for that explanation. Anna, Antoine, has been wonderful talking to you. There's a lot more that we could talk about, but we'll have to leave that for another day, unless you had something else that you wanted just to add to what Antoine was saying.
Maybe just come and visit.
Come and visit. What do you mean? Is it open to the public?
It's
People
open to
can
the
actually
public.
come and visit?
Absolutely, yes.
By appointment, I imagine.
No, the whole open space of the hub,
Really?
so it's a big part of the hub is open to everyone.
So listeners, there you have it. You can come and visit. It's been fascinating. I'd like to come again and learn more. I say congratulations on this remarkable enterprise, and I wish you all success. My guests today have been Anna Gräbner, the Chief Executive, and Antoine Hubert, the Chairman of the Board of the Genolier Innovation Hub. Thank you, Antoine. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks for listening to the McKay Interview podcast, brought to you by Kyoto Japan Automotive Group, a company which I've known personally for over 20 years, and your one-stop shop for tyres, batteries and auto parts. Visit their website at www.kyotojap.com for more details. And you can find more podcasts on Anchor FM. Just Google McKay Interview Anchor FM. Thanks again for listening.